Hi, it's Sarah from Crafting and Stamping here, and this week I'm going to show you how you can make a small box out of your Memories and More card pack. And I'm going to use one of the large pieces for the lid. Now you can either trim one of the large pieces down to use as the base, or as I'm going to do here, I'm actually just going to use some basic white. But if you've not got the basic white, you could use one of your cards. To me, it seems a bit of a shame to actually use one of these lovely cards for the base when it won't really be seen too much. Now, you could also use one of these cards for the lid. Again, we'll need to trim it down and I'll show you that in a minute. But instead, I'm going to use some of the stickers that also come with the kit to decorate my lid. So we're going to need to do a little bit of scoring. So I'm going to get my paper trimmer, and we've got our 6x4" card here, and I'm going to move the cutting blade out of the way so I don't make a mistake. I'm going to line this up at 3/4 of an inch. So the 3/4 of an inch mark there, and score it. And then I'm going to turn it, line it up at 3/4 of an inch again, score it. Same thing again, we're doing the same 3/4 of an inch on all four sides. So final one, we just get that scored like that. Now, what we're doing next is we're going to need to use some scissors to just cut along these lines. And I'm just cutting, it's probably easier to see it on here, along the score line as far as the horizontal one. And I'm just going to take out a little V just to make it a little bit easier for gluing. So, and the V is going to the outside. So we've got a little V. I take a bit of a different colour, you'll see that a bit better. And then it's the same, exactly the same thing on the other side. So there. So the Memories and More card packs are really designed to be used for memory keeping, but I've been sharing a few card ideas all week because I use mine always for card making and a little bit of box making like this. And one of these days I'm going to get a bit of time to do a bit of memory keeping. But I just wanted to show how useful the cards could be for other projects. Now it's only going to be a shallow box. Now the other thing that I'm wanting to do, because this is going to be my lid, I'm just going to tuck those in and glue them. I want to put some sort of finger lift places on this. You can do it with a round punch, but I wanted to show that you can use other punches besides. So this label punch that I've got here, I'm just going to pop in. I'm just making sure it's about even on both sides. I'm a big one for doing things by eye rather than measuring. So, and because I've got grid lines actually on this, that makes it a bit easier as well. So I'm just going to get that about centered and do the same thing then on the other side. These are on the long sides, and you need to do this before you start gluing, otherwise you won't have room for the punch to go in. So we'll just move those out of the way. I'm going to use a wet glue, my Tombow multi-purpose, but you could use the strong seal if you prefer. And I'm just going to pop a bit of glue on both of those and fold them over and hold them in place just for a couple of seconds. You can see that one's popped off. You don't need to hold them for too long. You can, if you prefer, just pop a peg on them to hold them in place. And then we're going to do the same thing, just fold these in and do the same for this end too. So we'll get that nice and tight. And there's our lid. Now the base, that was a 4" by 6" card. So for the base, I've trimmed this so that it's just 1/8 of an inch shorter. So if I just pop it on there, you can see it's 3 7/8 and it's 5 7/8. So it's just a smidge shorter on all the sides, but we're now going to do exactly the same and score it at 3/4 of an inch again. That's going to make our base just ever so slightly smaller than the lid, which means that it will tuck inside with no problem. So we're doing exactly the same, 3/4 of an inch on all 4 sides. And then again, we're going to just snip and do a little V, snip and do a little V to the outside and switch it around and do the same thing on that side. And of course we don't need to punch this one because this is our base and it's just going inside. So again, I'm using my bone folder to just fold all of these edges. I've just used ordinary basic white card here. You could use the thick basic white if you want a slightly stronger box. But as it's only a small box, I'm not too worried about strength here. So we'll just, again, a little bit of Tombow glue on both corners. Just pinch it till it sets. And again on the other end. And you could be more precise. This is supposed to be a quick tip, so I'm going through it really quickly. But you can have another look at these afterwards if you want. And there is our box. Just move that corner out a little bit, and that will very snugly fit over. You've then got the finger lifts to be able to lift the box lid off. We can fit in, I've still got these little eggs from Easter, but you could fit in a bunch of little sweets if you like. And then I'm taking the stickers and I'm going to go with the Discover. Now I could just stick this on flat, but I prefer to use some dimensionals to give it a bit of lift. So it is a bit sticky, so you might just have to grapple with it a little bit. And there's other stickers in the pack that you could choose instead, little worlds and things like that. And this World of Good Memories and More is just retiring, but we will have other Memories and More card packs in the future. So, and there we are. That's my quick tip for today. Showing how to, just need to get that bit of adhesive off, and if I can find my eraser I can do that. So there we are. So that is how to do a quick little box using the Memories and More cards. Thanks for stopping by. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be back with another tip next week. Thank you.